Okay. All right, good afternoon, everyone. And if you could hear me talking over there about nonsense, I'm very sorry. I forgot about the earphones. It was a moment. I hope I didn't say anything too strange. My name's Jamie Dominici. I run our adoption for Salesforce. And I got to tell you a story. So recently, I joined a gym. And not like any gym. I'm from San Francisco, the best gym in San Fran. You can imagine, pools, all the things. The thing is, I joined this gym about 6 months ago. Do you want to know what happened? I never went to the gym. Never. I know, don't judge me. Now everyone's looking like, she should work out. No, that's not the point of the story. The story is, though, many of you here have Salesforce, you've bought Salesforce. You guys got your membership to the best gym, the world's #1 customer success platform. And good news, guys, the customer success group at Salesforce, we are here to help you get the most out of your investment. We're going to make you go to the gym, but we're going to make it fun and we're going to help you. So for the next 30 minutes, I'm going to tell you about all of the tools that we have to help you get the most out of your investment with Salesforce. Sound good? Everybody wants to go work out now? No? Yes? Okay. All right. Well, first things first, I have to tell you also another great story, forward-looking statement. Don't buy anything based on what I say up here. Some of it's true, some of it's not. No, it's all true. Okay. And second of all, thank you. Thank you to all of our customers who've been on the journey with us. Thank you to the group of people who's raising their hand in the back. Oh, it's because their phones aren't working. Someone's going to help them. Great. And I want to say thank you to a special group of customers. We talked about this a little bit. Brett talked about our COA Club. So Salesforce is celebrating their 20th birthday on Friday, which is a pretty big milestone. And we have a lot of customers who have been on that journey with us. Is there anybody here who's a COA customer? Would you stand up? I mean, I think you're wearing a shirt. Is somebody out there? COA customers? Round of applause. Round of applause. Ah, everybody in the back. These are our customers who have been with us on the journey for over 10 years. And I want to welcome up to the stage a customer who's been with us for 15 years. And I want to welcome Karen Bennett up to the stage from SAI Global. Round of applause.
Thank you.
Hi, Karen.
I have that same gym story.
Do you? Terrible. It happens.
I know. I'm going to have to this weekend head off to the gym, actually, now. I feel
and
guilty as well.
Something. I am incentivizing you to go work out, so we win. Okay. But beyond that, tell us a little bit about what you do and about your company.
Yeah, so I work for SAI Global. So we're a risk management business. So we do ethics and assurance learning, the second biggest aggregator of standards globally, risk management software, and the portfolio I'm in is assurance. So those locally might know those 5 ticks. You see them on car, child restraints. Anyone that goes into Bunnings sees it on every bit of potting mix in there. So just risk management software and assurance.
Okay, so you've been with us for 15 and a half years.
Yes, 15 and a half years.
Yeah, so tell us a little bit about what it was like and how things have changed over that period of time.
Yeah, that's a good question. I had to go into the SAI Global archives. And 15 years ago, we actually had 7 licenses for 7 salespeople. And now we've got over 1,100 licenses across assurance. So kind of a big transition in terms of numbers. And so I was thinking back, especially to our auditing workforce, what it was like 15 years ago. And so, we do auditing. We have to go and do an audit. We've got a client, we've got an auditor, we have to match them together. So at the end of every week, we used to print out the audit schedules and post them to our hundreds of auditors, via mail. And then the next week, we would print out another audit schedule for them. And via the power of highlighters, we would highlight in green or red if there's any changes, so they knew what the changes were. At the end of the week, then the auditors would manually write down their time and expense, so which customer I saw, how much we need to bill them, what my travel was, and they would post that back to the office, and we would key that into our financial system so we could, send the invoice off to the customer. So I think Australia Post loved us. So big changes though now. So we've got most of our audit force on Salesforce, and so their audit schedules integrate with Outlook, so they know who they're visiting and when. They can do their time and expense within the system. and that automatically feeds through to our financial package so the invoices go out. So for my customers, both internally, huge changes over the last 15 years, but then you can see the flow and effect to our customers. So, the auditing, the auditor can get in contact with them sooner to confirm their audits, time and expense comes through, the invoices go out a bit more timely, our end results, the certificates go out. So huge changes from 7 licenses to over 1,100. And so big journey for SAI.
So thank you. And thank you for going on that journey with us.
Thank you. And thank you to my team. So I've got a few of them here who didn't stand up before when you asked who was with 15 years.
And they have a big go live this weekend.
We do.
Right?
So we're in assurance, we've had 2 orgs. We're consolidating those together. So we've got a go live this weekend. And we're also consolidating our marketing automation tools. So I've got my head of marketing here. So we've got a big go live this weekend. So I think we're all prepped though and ready to go. So.
Well, thank you. Thank you for doing this with us. And I'm excited for your guys' go live. It's going to be great. Don't worry. And we have a gift for you. Remember when I asked earlier if you're a surfer?
Lucky I didn't catch the bus.
Yeah, so this is just a little thing to say thank you. And now you know why I asked you earlier if you surfed. It was really random, but this is why. So we want you to take this back with you, and we wanted to say thank you so much for being a partner with us.
All right, so my son surfs.
Oh, yeah, you told us that.
Curl. I'll see if you can get down to the beach on Saturday and give this a go. So thank you.
All right, well, thank you. Oh, we're taking a picture. Wait, don't leave.
No.
Okay. This is your moment. This is your selfie moment. Well, thank you. Thank you so much. So we've been on a journey for 15 years, but as I mentioned at Salesforce, we've been doing this for 20 years. And there's a few things we've learned along the way, is that we have incredible customers. There's over 160,000 customers with Salesforce, each of which is going on a different journey, but a lot of people who are trying to do a lot of the same stuff. And so we've learned those best practices, and we've applied them and put them into tools that are accessible to everybody in the room. Well, you're thinking, what are those tools? Well, you remember earlier, we saw the customer success platform if you went to the keynote. Here you have the world's #1 technology platform. We have a CRM that covers everything from sales to service and marketing. But you know what else that looks like? Looks like a lot of stuff, right? And so many of you out there are trying to do multi-cloud implementations and connect your entire business. And that is not easy. You have 2 go lives going live right now this weekend on Saturday. And you know what? We want to help you. We don't want you to feel like you have to go this alone. And we want to take those best practices that we've learned and make sure that you have them so that you can be successful. And what are the tools? How do we do it? Well, we have a lot of different things. We heard about Trailhead. I'm sure who here has taken a trail? Okay, all right. The other half of you guys need to catch up, take a few trails. But we have things like trails where we have thousands of trails available to everyone for free out of the box. We also have things like accelerators. If you have Premier, you get access to accelerators. We have over 200 accelerators, which are pre-configured out of the box, best practices that are geared at helping you get success and access to our professionals so that you can get up and running faster. And we also, if you want to take that a step further, we have professional services where you can actually hire a Salesforce expert and embed them into your team so that they can be standing side by side with you to go on the journey with you. And if you're using a partner, we bring everyone together and go on that journey together. So there's lots of different options. And over the next 20 minutes now, I want to make sure that you know all of the options that are available to you. There's a click. It's going to happen. And I want you to walk out of here knowing what's available and also think about what you're going to do as your next step. Now, I mentioned we've talked to a lot of customers, and typically there's 3 main reasons that customers come to us. One is they want to learn. Say, we need to learn more about the options that we have, best practices, what other customers like us are doing. 2, once you roll this thing out, you need to get users to use it. And so we have admins coming to us and saying, what are the best practices to drive adoption? The only way you get value is if people use it. The only way people understand is if they put the information into the system. So we can help you with that. And last but not least, our customers more and more are coming to us and telling us that they need to transform. Now I know what you're thinking. Yeah, I just need to do, opportunity forecasting, or I'm just trying to do maybe a more basic function. Transformation sounds like a big deal. But if you think about how the world around us is changing with the 4th Industrial Revolution, we've all got to transform. You know, our worlds are changing. You think about 15 years ago when we were using highlighters and how that process has changed for SAI Global. A lot of us are in that boat. And it doesn't matter how big or small you are, but we can help you with that. So let's start with Learn. We talked a little bit about Trailhead, but there's a lot of other tools out there that are here to help you learn. I'm going to get that button, I swear. Is it coming up? No. Here's the right button. There's a lot of things that are out of the box. We have Trailhead. We have our help portal where we're answering over 1 million questions every month. We also have the Trailblazer community. Anybody out there, has anybody in the room joined the Salesforce community? A couple people? Okay, this is good. I asked that question at Dreamforce, and the entire room raised their hand except for one person. And so I was like, I have a lot more content. I guess I'm just going to talk to you. You know, everybody else already knows about it, but this room seems like there's an opportunity to learn. So with our Trailblazer community, we have over 3 million members, people who are like you, who are answering questions, sharing best practices, and this is a great place to go. I highly recommend that you join it. We have groups for every single product, for every single thing that you're looking to do. We have Salesforce experts, product experts, and this is a thriving community where you can ask pretty much any question, and someone's going to be there to help you with an answer because they've done it before. I highly recommend that you join the community today. A great reason to join the community is because we have 3 releases a year, which is an amazing thing. 3 releases a year, constant innovation. Sometimes customers say, though, you know what? You innovate almost a little too fast for us because once I finally get situated, there's something new. We've done over 56 releases across our entire product portfolio. We have launched millions of new features. And every time we do a launch, we give you our release notes. And I know you guys love reading those 300-page release notes. I mean, that is a wild Saturday night right there. But there are ways to get more out of those release notes. So let me give you 3 tips of how you can take those release notes and get the most out of them. 1, I want you to join the Release Readiness Chatter group. If you join any group in the community, this is a very good one to go. Because every time we do a release, you have admins in there who have tested things, who have gone beta, who have used the feature in beta, or who are rolling out the new features, and they'll help you identify where to start, where to focus, and where to get your best uses. 2, sign up for a pre-release org. You don't have to do this in your live org. You know, there's places that you can practice and test and things won't get messed up. So definitely get a pre-release org before the release. And last but not least, follow a Salesforce MVP. We saw the golden hoodie today. Very cool. I would like to get one of those, but they won't give me one. But the MVPs who you could easily identify, follow who we saw in the keynote today. These are Salesforce ninjas. They are on the cutting edge of our innovation, and they share everything. So these are great people to follow in the community because they're going to give you access to best practices, tips, what works, what doesn't, before the rest of the world. So that's how you can learn more to get more out of your investment with Salesforce. But to tell you a little bit more about adoption, I'm going to welcome to the stage Tony Colon, who's our SVP of Product and Innovation. Round of applause for Tony. Use that button. Okay.
Can you hear me now? Awesome. All right. My own tech support. So, as Jamie said, we talked a lot about the process of adoption. I meet with hundreds of customers a year, and they're always asking me the same question. How do I get better adoption and usage of the Salesforce platform? One of the things that almost every customer in this room has today is something that we call Premier Success. How many of the folks in the room know what Premier Success is, uses it, and leverages it? By a raise of hands. Okay, that's a little scary. Most of you, if not all of you, actually have Premier Success as part of the Salesforce subscription. What you often know is contacting our support center is part of the Premier Success portfolio. We've added, and we're going to continue to expand our capabilities around our technical support, around our developer support, and being able to drive a lot of the questions and answers that you have on a frequent basis that are not answered by the community, as Jamie spoke of earlier. The one-on-one accelerators, one of our most popular programs that we have today, which is getting one-on-one canned guidance from individuals, experts, whether it's Marketing Cloud, Sales Cloud, Service Cloud, any one of the clouds that we have here at Salesforce, we have a getting started accelerator that helps drive the adoption across that product. And finally, one of the most underused and underutilized resources that we have today is one of my favorite features of Premier, and that is Admin Assist. Literally, the next time that you have a dashboard question, or next time you want a report created, this team can do it for you. They are your admins at Salesforce. It's an amazing group, and I highly, highly recommend that all of you leverage them. So what better way to tell a story than with PwC? Many of you know PwC as a system integrator, but the story I'm going to tell is really around how they're leveraging Salesforce for their own internal use cases. Many of you leverage PwC to do your implementation of Salesforce. What they have, they've got 236,000 employees across the globe. They had 170 different CRM systems. Every single partner was empowered to create their own and build their own CRM. They consolidated and brought that all onto a single platform. They leveraged the power of Success Cloud and Salesforce and our customer success group to really unlock and connect all of these distributed firms across the world to leverage the power of the platform. And with that, the numbers do not lie, 25% increase in win or won opportunities in the first year of implementation. Many people ask me a question, how do I get value out of the platform? This is real, this is happening. As Jamie mentioned, we have 3 tools to help you drive adoption faster. One thing that's very easy for you to do right after this conference is to go and set up your designated contacts. 70% of our customers do not have the right contacts set up in Salesforce. What that means is we cannot contact your admins, we cannot contact your developers, we cannot contact your business users. The second is there's an accelerator trail. So if you haven't taken Accelerator, you're not familiar with it, I highly recommend going to Trailhead, looking up accelerators and taking the intro to Accelerator Trail. And finally, you see the big circle right back there? That's a circle of success. We hold these around the world in every city, in every country, and this is where you're hearing from Salesforce experts, architects, developers, admins, business users. This is where we will help you solve some of your business problems. And with that, I want to bring Jamie Dominici back.
You guys are getting a little tired of clapping. The next one's going to be big. I know it. Okay. Let's talk about our third chapter, which is all about transformation. And I just I know it's affecting all of us. Think about it. Does anybody have kids? Okay. I have a 6-year-old daughter, and I consistently see her looking at the computer and trying to touch the screen. And you're like, no, it's like computer. She's like, yeah, they're used to devices. So the way that our kids are learning is very different. And you can liken that. Our customers, they're expecting things to be different. I don't know about here, but at home, if I have to call someone to make a reservation for a restaurant, I get very irritated. Like, why can't I do this online? Why? Automate this. It's just a different world, and the way that we have to leverage and use technology to connect with our customers is really, really important. At Salesforce, we have a lot of customers who are going through a transformation. And when they think about transformation, most people, they're thinking about all of these things. Technology, right? How do I look at my systems to connect different? And what are the right structures that I need? And what are the right business processes that I can automate to think about my customer? But when you look at this picture, what is missing? Anybody? Well, I can't hear you guys, but you can hear me. But what is missing is below the line. And a lot of customers don't think about this on their road to transformation, and it holds them back. You need to think about all of the other things, those intrinsic things that you don't see that are below the ground in this picture, right? These are those non-tangible things like your culture or your values or your change management. You can't just roll out a piece of software and expect everything to change. You have to think about how you're going to drive that transformation both above the ground and with your culture. So I'll give you an example. At Salesforce, we actually have invested a lot of time in both of these different behaviors. So we think about our structures, of course. We think about things, we use the Salesforce platform for everything. Trailhead is integral into who we are and what we do. But that alone is not enough, right? To continue to be this fast-performing company, we've spent a lot of time thinking about how do we use technology and how do we bring the company along with us. So one example is we believe in radical transparency, and I mean radical. So a couple times a year, Mark Benioff will bring together the executive team, maybe 300, 400 people. We'll have a 3-day conference, and you know what he does? We broadcast it to all 35,000 employees. As somebody who's had to present in that is a little scary, but it's also very empowering because your entire company is getting access to the same information at the same time. And it's that culture of trust that we've created that allows us to move fast and change fast and bring the entire company with you. So if you're on your own road to transformation and you're thinking, you know what, I need to think not only about the technology, but also how do I change my company and prepare us to move fast in this digital era? Well, we can help you with that. At Salesforce, we have Salesforce experts, as I mentioned. These are like Salesforce ninjas who have been on implementation after implementation with our customers. And they've learned a thing or two along the way. They know what to do, and they know what not to do. And we have design architects, we have innovation executives, and we have experienced designers. Something that we hear from companies a lot is, we know kind of what we do, we don't know how to do it, we don't know where to begin. And our teams will come in and they'll help you build your vision, bring your executive team together, and then be an extension of your team. And that means we'll go on the journey with you, we'll go on the journey with our partners, but at the end of the day, we want to bring our best practices to you so that you can be successful the first time and in the fastest way possible. So if you're thinking about transformation, here's a couple tips for you. One, take our trail. So for all of you who didn't raise your hand and you think you might be on this journey, we have a great digital transformation trail that's filled with tips and tricks as well as testimonials from customers who've been down this path. Two, set up, if you have Premier, and I know all of you didn't raise your hand, but I know you're going to go home and check if you have Premier because you want to get either admin assist or access to accelerators because these are all part of the offering. If you're paying for it, I want you to use it. Take our governance framework accelerator. This is a great way to get access to thinking about how, working with a Salesforce expert, how you can get started. And last, read our North Star report. It's filled with customer testimonials, all of which customers who have been on some type of transformation, big, small, FinServe, HLS, it's a variety of customers, and they're going to tell you about what worked for them. So thank you guys. I want to bring back to the stage Tony, and we're going to hear from a customer who's been on a journey himself. Thanks, Tony.
Thank you, Jamie.
Mm-hmm.
So as I said with the PwC story, we also have a very iconic brand here in Australia, AMP. And so I'm going to tell a little bit about AMP, but I'd also like to bring Rob Whitaker. Please give him a hand. So before I have Rob introduce himself, I'll just sort of say a couple of things about AMP. They're a 170-year-old company. They're part of the skyline here in Sydney. Really amazing organization that's going through a transformation as many other organizations in the world. And so Rob and I met each other through this process, but we've been talking, I've been working with AMP, and I'm really interested, Rob, where did this journey start with Salesforce, and what can you tell this group about AMP?
So those of you last year at World Tour would have seen us at the keynote, but we've been on this journey now for really about 2 years. It all started with us needing to improve the CRM capability that we provide to our financial advisors. But as we sort of dug into understanding the Salesforce platform, we identified it to do a lot more than just CRM. And it effectively started a broader transformation where we were looking to deliver a single customer advisor engagement platform for all our channels, our customers, our contact centers, and our advisors. with the view of replacing 40 to 50 systems and really transforming our processes along the way.
Nice. So I love your transformation story, and I love sort of your 4 principles that you told me about. Can you share that with the audience as well?
Yeah, so it's sort of 4 areas we sort of looked at from a success. First of all, we had to have a very clear and exciting vision and strategy that was both transformational but ambitious. It needed to push our boundaries and out of our comfort zone. Secondly, we knew going down this path it was going to be a hard journey, so we brought in an SI partner to bring that financial services experience, but also the scale to help us support this journey. 3, obviously using many of the services that sort of Jamie and yourself have talked about today, program architects have played a very key role in a lot of the design aspects along there. We're doing stuff around Expedition at the moment and various other parts of the Customer Success Cloud. And then Trailhead has been a big one for our staff, not only just as people on the program learning about Salesforce, just simple things like terminology and what's an opportunity versus a case and those aspects. But we also pushed it in and used it in our frontline staff, in our contact centers, as a way of getting them to understand what Salesforce can do. And we've now created an ecosystem where they're using that to tell us about ideas of how we could use the platform more.
Amazing. So you've gone through the transformation, you're continuing to iterate and evolve. What's next for AMP?
Our immediate focus is very much rolling out to our advisor network. We've sort of rolled out to all our internal staff, 2,000 users, and all our contact centers and decommissioned our legacy system. But now it's all about, well, how do we give those capabilities to our financial advisors? We're also looking to roll out Marketing Cloud within our organization. We have an expedition running at the moment of how can we take contact center operations to the next level. And we're continuously looking at how can we leverage our investment more and drive greater value out of Salesforce across the board.
Well, Rob, thank you. He's going to be around if anyone wants to speak to him about real first-hand experience. Thank you so much for being here.
No problem. Thank you.
So we've talked a bit about some of the products and services that are offered here. One of the things you may not be aware of from Salesforce is really the Envision, which brings a lot of the experience design. This is sort of a 4 to 6 week typical engagement where we come in and help you redesign the future. Many of you have likely heard of Ignite. This is taking the Ignite process, but actually developing a roadmap for how you implement it and think of the future. It's really an exciting time for us because you activate, it's led by Salesforce experts. It's beyond design and human-centered design thinking and experience. It's really one of our more exciting things that we're starting to offer to our customers and seeing a ton of value, as Rob said earlier. So we have only 30 minutes. So this is the end of our time together, but I know many of you are here because of this wonderful Blaze plushie. So don't forget on your way out to please pick up a Blaze plushie. They're back there. And as you exit, I'd love for you to go to the Success Lodge, walk around, meet some of the Salesforce folks, whether you're doing a project, you're a prospect, you're a customer, and to end this, I want to say thank you to all of you and have a good rest of your day.